I think I told you earlier they're predicting snow for tonight, and everywhere you go today, people are talking about the snow. Surprisingly, this area in upper East Tennessee really doesn't get that much snow. But when we do get one, I mean, we really get dumped on. I remember one year that we got like 24, 25 inches of snow, and in some places even more. That was the first time that I ever remembered seeing my automobile completely covered by snow since back in the early 60s. When I came out of the military in January of 60, that year in Appalachia, they had a total for the year, I think, like 71 inches of snow. And we had several large snows in the 60s. Of course, if you follow the global warming thing, and that's a debate that if you get people together, you can have all different ideas. But the way I look at global warming, I try to follow it as close as I possibly can. There's a group of people out there that has almost convinced me that it's a political movement rather than an environmental movement. And I'm not saying that it is or it isn't, but most of the people that you meet that are talking about global warming, they don't even know what they're talking about. And I usually just listen because I don't even know what can I tell you about global warming? I'm not a meteorologist or a scientist. And most of the people, the converts on both sides, are going around talking about it like they're experts. And they know absolutely nothing about what they're talking about. So therefore, when I listen to the debate, I don't listen to it like an ideology. I listen to it from the perspective of wanting to really know what's going on. And I listen to both sides of the story and try to come up with my own opinions. And if you happen to be a convert and you have done it through your intellect, but if you're out talking global warming, either pro or con, and you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, you're just going to have to find somebody else that doesn't know what you're talking about. So I usually don't get into any global warming debates because I would just show my lack of understanding of the subject, because, what can I add to the debate? Nothing other than what I hear some of the scientists say, and that's who I have a tendency to listen to. I try not to listen to the politicians because politics is in everything, but politics is relative to ideology. And if global warming fits into your politic, then just like during the Civil War, you had both sides of the story, and followers of the Confederacy, followers of the Union. And if you listen to some of the things that they had to say, they believed in their cause. I think probably there were some people who were in a leadership position during the Civil War who didn't believe in the cause, but they were caught up in the cause, and probably were doing it strictly for political reasons, thinking and hoping that their side would prevail and it would propel them into more power than they really possessed. Now, that's just my thinking. And if you study the history of the Civil War, a lot of that is proven to be a fact. And as I've said in some of my comments on the Civil War, somewhat up in front of me here that's just poking along, the speed limit through here is 40 miles per hour, and of course I know most of the policemen here in this town because I worked there. I set up their NCIC system years ago, and they tell me that they'll allow you 10 miles over the speed limit without getting a ticket. So I usually go 50 miles an hour through here, and watch me get a ticket. Of course, if you were pulled over by the police and you had one of these cameras rolling, I'm sure that it would be a paranoid thing while they were talking to you. I know they would be on their best behavior. But anyway, policemen have one of the hardest jobs for the pay of anybody other than guys in the military. And like I always say, we have a thin blue line between us and anarchy. And as long as you have people who are willing to put on the uniform to protect our rights and our freedoms, that's people who I really look up to. I don't look up to someone because they've made a lot of money, because they could not have made that money if someone had not been willing to put on a uniform to guarantee the freedom that that person could go out and make money. And in a lot of cases, I have some friends who have made some pretty good money, and most of them have never served a day in the military, and they have never had a uniform on, but they have a natural knack for making money. So, I mean, I respect their ability to make money, but they don't have near the respect from me as the people in uniform, the local police and sheriff's department, and especially the military. Of course, you know, if you're a believer as I am, in Romans chapter 13, it mentions, you know, that that the authority is there and it's ordained. I don't know exactly how it's worded. If you want to go out and read it, I think it's in Romans chapter 13 that covers exactly what I'm talking about. So, and usually, well, I've only had 2 speeding tickets in my 70 years on this earth. I'll give you a little tip. If you're ever stopped by a policeman, the best thing you can do is put both of your hands on the steering wheel when he comes up to the window. That way he can always see your hands. And if you have a passenger with you, you tell them to show their hands. I mean, put them up on the dash of the car. And when he asks to see your driver's license, and you start to go for your driver's license, don't bring both of your hands off of your steering wheel. Leave one of them on the steering wheel. and that way he can always know that what your hands are doing. Because let's face it, you know that you're a good person, but he doesn't know that. And if you do that, you might even get out of a ticket, because if you do that, he'll think, well, you know, this person's either familiar with law enforcement or has worked in law enforcement. So, and I'm at home. My tip is to always keep your hands. I was looking for my little remote. Always keep your hands on the wheel when you're stopped by the police. Well, I don't know how much of this I'm going to get on YouTube, but we'll see. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Have a good day, everybody.